Hi everyone. So this reading is going to be specific for my Leos. Happy birthday, Leos. I have a few good friends who are Leos, and I hope you guys are watching. And I've been thinking about doing this reading for the last 3 days. So that tells me something really special or important to you is going to be revealed. And so I'm super excited. And so let's go ahead and get started. Okay. All right, so we're going to pull from the Gateway of Light activation first, just to get some overall energy. I'm going to ask Spirit for 3 cards to give us the overall energy for my Leos and what they can expect for the rest of, I keep wanting to say year, even though I sat down with the intention for like the month. So for some of you, it might be for the rest of the year. And for those of you, it's something to something to focus on for this month. Okay. All right. I would like 3 cards, please. There's one more, two. It's this one. All right. So we have in order. This one came out first. Ooh, I love the purple. My goodness. How beautiful are these cards? Oh my goodness. I love the purple. So that tells me, are you guys aligning with your crown chakra? Okay, so the first one is Chamber of the Violet Flame, Karmic Release and Radical Transformation. Ooh, and look, that's like a lotus in a violet flame. I love that. So, karmic release. So, for some of you, you may have been in a karmic partnership for a while. And, when people hear karmic, they think bad. But really, those are our soul family that decided to play a very important role in your life that teaches you lessons, okay? And the soul star activation, fulfilling soul contracts, remembering who you are. And I had just said that, and I promise you I did not read that bottom of the card. So basically, some of you have come to completion with a specific soul contract, and remember that I keep wanting to say if they come back around. Okay, so um, that message might be pretty specific, but Mercury retrograde is over, so usually exes don't return. But Saturn is going into retrograde, and that's all about teaching us lessons, determination, slowing down. Um, but remember that you have a radical transformation coming in because you've already learned the lesson. So anything going forward is not going to bring any more positivity into your life, okay? And then with the sword of light, divine protection, cords cut, and breakthrough energy. Oh my gosh, you guys, I cannot make this stuff up. The cords are cut, right? So you need to release any relationships that you have felt like you can't gain anything. Maybe you guys are continuing to go like cycle after cycle, or same situation different day, right? So and for those of you, I feel strongly that you're not connected to these people anymore, your karmic like partners, but I think that they may be returning or attempting to return. So remember, you are divinely protected. The cords are already cut. You've already had your breakthrough energy, okay? And this with this being your birthday season, Leos are already very outwardly confident. They shine, they steal the attention, and they don't mean to steal the attention, right? You guys literally just walk into a room and people look at you. You have something about your soul that can't be taught. So I think about it like this: we can start a new job and we can learn the ins and outs, but we can't learn a new personality. And you guys have that fiery energy that people are attracted to, right? When you look at a flame, we're attracted to the flame. We see that flame, and you guys have that flame within you. And so remember, sometimes people come into our lives, we learn that lesson, and then they come back because they want to spark something in them, and they know that you have the flame to spark it. But that flame is yours, okay? So we don't give our energy away. And not this month either. And I feel like you guys are going to be standing strong in your power, because with your birthday month, our birthdays bring in such new energy. It's it's something that we can ride the wave on. And then your guys' time to shine, your birthday, you guys are in the season of the Lionsgate portal. So you have double the activation. So set your intentions now so you're ready to kind of like manifest them when that time comes, okay? And don't let anything get in the way, because let's see what this one is. Opportunity. Okay, we're going to leave this one out. I love the theme is very purple, but I'm going to shuffle this deck really quick. I love the purple. It is like, yeah. So for some of you, purple might be your favorite color, or maybe you need to wear purple this month, or maybe get an amethyst crystal. I have one right here that I love so much. It brings a lot of healing. It can bring clarity, and there's a lot of things that we don't realize that crystals can bring or clear our path with. Okay, so purple definitely is something for you guys this month. And then especially with the opportunity card, there's purple in that as well. Okay, so you guys have some opportunities coming up this month, and I think that the reason why I originally sat down with the intention of doing a monthly reading for you guys, and then I felt year, it's because whatever you guys bring in this season of your life, it's going to be like long lasting for the rest of the year. And then I want to say right now, if any of you are meeting anybody, or like going on a new date or meeting a new person, it's going to last throughout the year. Okay, you might meet them this month in your season, and then it would last a year. Or if you're starting a project or something, or I just keep feeling like it'll come in this month and then it'll last 1 year, okay? Or until the end of the year. Okay, so now we have, I think pleasure came out first, and then miracles, and then security. Oh, I love this. And I did a personal reading for one of my friends yesterday, and this card came out. And with pleasure, you're going to have a very good fiery energy month, okay? You're going to feel like when I every time I see this card, instead of saying pleasure, I automatically want to say like purpose, happiness. And with the deer, let me see on my camera if you guys can see this. I know it's gonna be kind of bright, but maybe if I pull it back. So um there's a deer, and it's standing at the path walking through, and it's like, come on, you're ready, take this opportunity, whatever it is, because you're going to be blessed for it. Okay, it's your golden path. Your golden path is always destiny, right? And purple with that card as well. And then we have miracles. So what that tells me is, and with the rainbows and the stars in the sky is what I saw first. And what that tells me is that whatever comes in, you may second guess yourself. You might be a little hesitant because you don't understand in your human mind. So our human mind is very limited, and we can talk ourselves out of good opportunities or good things. But miracles tell me that spirit is going to make something happen that our logical mind could not figure out, because spirit has higher ways than us. And your higher self knows that. So a part of you, your higher part knows that. And we just need to remember to connect to that. And when I say that, I realize, well, with the activation cards and the chamber of the violet flame, it's like, that's your crown chakra. And our crown chakra connects us to spirit. But to get to our crown chakra, we have to heal all of them, starting with our root. So that tells me a lot of you guys are already on your spiritual path and you guys have already done a lot of work, because um, crown chakra is like your third eye, right? But our third eye is basically us connecting to our higher self. Even when I do my readings, I'm not constantly on. I'm not like out in the grocery store and shopping and thinking like, oh, this person's going to have this happen or this, they feel this emotion. No, no. But when I sit down and I intentionally open my third eye, it's like I jump into a river and the river flows, and it's like knowledge. And um, unfortunately, I haven't been able to jump into the river for myself. So I also have my own life lessons to learn. Um, and I watch my own readers as well, because I feel like my gift is for you guys, and I'm unable to use my gift for myself. And I kind of feel like there's probably some like higher order to that, because it could probably really like, um, imagine, I probably, if I knew everything about myself and I tapped in for myself all the time, I probably wouldn't want to tap in for others, because we're selfish human beings. Um, so I think that's kind of the way oh, I threw that on accident. It's kind of the way it's supposed to work. Okay, so back to the reading. Sorry, I got a little carried away, but maybe that message was meant for somebody. Maybe somebody else out there actually can read cards, but they're not trusting their own intuition because they can't. What I keep wanting to say is like, I can't make the healthy decisions myself, or I can't pick the right one from the wrong one. So how can I trust to give other people advice? Or how can I trust to read the energy of the cards for others? Well, when we're in the storm and we're really close to something, it's really hard because we're wearing our rose colored glasses. But when we're just connecting to the energy and we don't have our own hopes or thoughts or wish fulfillments in there, then it's not skewed. Okay, and then the last card for the Sacred Destiny is security. And I see like the little I don't remember exactly what they're called, but they're like the drawings from on the walls, right? And it looks like that's like a buffalo, a guy, some deer. Um, and that reminds me, there's a show, I don't know if you guys have ever watched it, called Ancient Aliens, and I used to love that show. And it's like spirit's been talking to us and our ancestors for many years, for like eons, and they're trying to help guide us. And they've been giving us messages for years, but we can really easily get wrapped up into our 3D life, like what's going on right now, and we forget to look to our higher self. And I wanted to say to look above. So, and that's where our security is. But I also feel like whatever opportunity that comes in for you for your birthday month, yeah, it's going to bring you a lot of security. And that could be financially, that could also mean energetically, spiritually. You're going to be blessed for it. This is a very positive reading. I love that. You guys deserve that. You guys deserve that, honestly. And with sorry, it's happening again. When sometimes my brain is processing so much like intuition, my mouth either just starts like spitting out random things, or it just can't really catch up with what my brain's trying to process. But what I'm trying to say is like, that's what you guys deserve, right? I feel like for some of you, you guys have maybe been in some really tough relationships your entire life, or maybe some really tough like family dynamics or friendships, and you're just kind of like, I feel like I've learned this lesson over and over and again. How many times am I going to have to learn it? Well, sometimes spirit tests us right before a huge opportunity or miracle comes. So let's just say our divine counterpart is waiting for us. or we've already met them. We might have already dated them. Something happened. We got into a relationship with a karmic. We went through all these terrible lessons because the lessons hurt, right? And then we've healed. And maybe we have that opportunity to go with our divine counterpart again. But right before our divine counterpart enters our life, Spirit's going to test us to make sure we're completely ready. And one thing I think that most people forget is with divine counterparts, yeah, we get to have a love and we get to have like that relationship that we've always wanted. And but that doesn't mean that there's still not going to be tests. It doesn't mean that it's going to be all rainbows and butterflies. It still takes a lot of effort and work. It still takes us looking at ourselves. But one of the biggest missions of all that I think a lot of people miss when they discuss like the twin flame journey, which I'm not all on the hype about the twin flame journey. I won't discount it though, because I know that it does exist for some. However, I don't know if it's across the board and everybody's having that experience. And I'm not about like perpetuating like the toxic, like, let's look for a reading. I'm in a relationship that's toxic for me, but is this my divine counterpart? So I'm going to stay. I don't want to keep people in energy that keeps them down or sick. So I try not to mention that. However, somebody watching this reading must have needed to hear this because I never speak on the divine counterpart, twin flame, all of that. But one thing that I really want to make clear to you guys, okay, is that what we can often forget is two divine counterparts come together, but they come together to help evolve the world. Like they have a specific job. So you guys might love each other, want to be with each other so bad, but you both have to heal what you need to heal so you guys could better be able to guide the world. And I think about like a power couple. And then I also think about like how many people actually make it. You know, how many power couples do we know in our world today? So do the work, right? Do the work because you're going to be blessed for it. And then we have card number 9, which is a treasure island. And I love the tortoise. And I see little hearts and stars and clouds above it. And that tells me that you're going to be blessed, right? You have a treasure chest. And I feel like you have it, but you haven't tapped into it yet. That's what I keep wanting to think. Like you have that treasure chest within you. We just have to go in there and pull it out. And then I also want to go back to the karmic release. So once we have learned our lessons, it doesn't mean that instantly we're just like over the situation, right? Sometimes spirit will remove them from our lives. Sometimes it could be a situation. But I feel like for some of you, for your life path, it's up to you. You have to use the sword of light. You have to call on your higher self and spirit, you know, whatever your higher power is. For some of us, it's a creator. For some of us, it's Jesus. For others, it's God. You know, some of it's Buddha. And but guess what? All paths lead us to the same place. All paths lead us home. And that's spirit. We just have different names for it. So I'm just kind of like open to all of that. So you need to ask for divine protection, okay? Because you have some breakthrough energy. You are fulfilling soul contracts. That's a big deal. That's like graduating from 11th grade and going into being a senior in the school of life. Or for, you know, I wanted to say right now, heck, for some of you guys, I don't even say the word heck, so maybe you guys do. I wanted to say some of you guys are actually going into your doctorate program right now. So, and that could actually be in the physical realm or in the spiritual realm. So, yeah, I keep wanting to say, you know, you're at the highest level of education. And I love that for you guys. And what actually confirms that is all of the purple, because that's also the highest chakra, right? Oh, I love it. I love it. So I'm going to ask for, we're going to get 4 cards out of the Wisdom of the Oracle. And so far we have the Treasure Island, and then we have Breathe, Fork in the Road, Fork in the Road. Okay, let's pull. You know what? We're going to do 2 more from this deck. Oh. Well, I guess we're going to do 3 because I always listen to Spirit, or actually I try my best to listen to Spirit. And three cards is what came out. So three cards is what it is. So the first one that I saw is New Life. And that is a beautiful ballerina, also purple, sitting on like a top of a stone or a pillar. And with a new life, and then the fairy kind of looks like she's yawning and stretching. I feel like you're waking up, you're being activated to a new path. And then, okay, earlier I wanted to say Native American when I looked at the on this card, right, with security, because of all of the I want to say relics. I don't know if that's what they're called. That's what comes to mind though. So, this reminds me of like the Native community, and I don't know if I said it or not, but I was thinking it. So some of you might be Native American, and or sometimes we also have to like look to other teachings. So like the Native Americans believe in the creator, you know. And I've learned a lot from my Native family members, and they're very spiritual, and I appreciate that so much. So maybe we need to take a different spiritual path, that or we need no let me rephrase that. I don't want to say different spiritual path. Maybe we need to take on some other. Hold on one second, you guys. Let me take a breath and try to listen to this. We need to take on some other spiritual, I want to say tasks, or um anyways, things that they do, you know. um it might help. And then with why, I always see this as a Native American, you know, picking up the wisdom of the book of knowledge. And you know, with 31 being 4, and oh, I didn't count the numbers as cards, but I, for whatever reason, 4 might be a number for you guys. So because I didn't look at the rest of the numbers, but 4 came to mind. And with the question of why, that tells me that you're going to be questioning something along your path. But let me go ahead, because I realized I did not talk about these two cards, and that everything has meaning, right? Because when I'm doing these readings, like I said, I tap in, and the most important messages always come first, but then I always reflect back on the smaller messages, okay? And then here and now, card number 32. And I've seen this card before, but this is the first time that I've noticed past and future being so large to me. When I look at this card, that's really all that I see. And I don't know if you see a theme here, but you guys have a lot of blue. A lot of blue. For some of you, you're going to be going to the beach, or some water. Maybe you're going to be relaxing in the pool, and just kind of like enjoying yourself and taking a rest. And then with breathe, I feel like that is basically just saying to slow down, enjoy the moment, be in the here and now, take a few breaths. Sometimes when I feel like my brain is just like on overload and it's just like going and going and going and going, I have to take a deep breath. And I've done that a few times on my videos, because, and I don't pause it. I don't really ever pause any of my videos. I literally just turn it on and I keep it going, because I'm trying to be my genuine self. And I think that a lot of times when a message comes out and it doesn't make any sense to me, I've been proven time and time again that it makes a lot of sense to you guys. So maybe some of you guys are having some anxiety and you need to take some breaths, some deep breaths. So remember, when you do that, you take a big deep breath in, hold it for 4 seconds, and then blow out for 4 seconds. Okay, if you do that 3 times, you'll feel the tension in your shoulders release. Okay, so with the fork in the road, I feel very strongly that you have an opportunity here to repeat a cycle, and you can go back to the past and repeat a cycle again, or you can decide to go forward and have this new life. But I feel like for some of you, you might be kind of tired and like, oh, but when is it gonna come? And it's like, you know, anything worth having rarely came easy, okay? And I know some of you guys are questioning it. Maybe you don't want to take a new path. Maybe you're used to repeating the same cycle over and over again. Maybe you're like, you know, in that wheel and you're just okay with it. and you don't want to let it go and go forward, and you're saying, why do I have to do this? Why can't it just work out? um but I know that we have to let go of something that's not helping us along our journey, so we can have room or make room for something new to come in. And so I like to use this analogy a lot. So I tell my friends a lot, I have 10 tabs open and like 3 are buffering in the background. So I sometimes in some situations I have no idea what's going on, right? But I say that to say this. I keep wanting to say 5 or 4. Maybe you guys have 5 tabs open and 4 of them are buffering and you're only focusing on one thing. So clear away some of those tabs, okay? Especially the ones that are buffering, okay? Um, Reconnect, take a breath, I want to say take a trip, go to the beach, get around water. Um, and then the opportunity and the path will be revealed to you because it's already, I feel like it's already within you. You already know what it is. Um, but you're like teeter tottering, like, oh, but do I really want to go forward? That's what I keep feeling. So let's get some clarification from my tarot deck, the Light Seers. This is my favorite deck. I think I've told you guys that all the time, but I'm really connected to these cards. All right, so let's see. All right, Spirit, what do we have for my Leos for this month? You know what? I need to shuffle 3 times. Okay. I need to get like a larger like desk because I'm running out of space. Running out of space. Okay. And you know what song keeps coming to mind? Um, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I'm like the worst singer, you guys, but I just sing for you. So, so that message might be something for somebody. And then with the rainbow with miracles, right? So yeah, that song, I can see clearly now the rain is gone. I don't know who sings it, but look it up, listen to it. That song might bring some clarity or some answers, or maybe one of you guys have been listening to that song. All right, what does my Leos need to know? All right, and this one too. Oh, both of them. Oh, okay. All right, so let's see. We're gonna go, I'm gonna try to remember how they came out. These ones are last and they're turned over, so I think there are secret cards and with a surprise. So we're gonna put them over here to the side. So the first card that I saw was the death and the rebirth. And that's the same thing of remembering who you are. So sometimes we need to let go of our 3D selves, the way we present to the world, and allow our inner true being to be revealed. So, with that being said, that could mean that maybe we're in a job that doesn't align with who we are anymore. I know a few car salesmen, and it's like every single one of them, it's it's really easy for people to talk to me about like their spiritual path, or they open up to me a lot. And I'm grateful for that. I'm so happy when you guys do those types of things for me, because it helps me too. But what I keep thinking about is they'll tell me things like, I just feel like this job doesn't align with who I am anymore. Like, I feel like the car being a salesman makes them show up in an identity that they no longer resonate with. So, but it's also hard to let it go because it's a lot of good money. So, for some of you, you might be doing a job or in a relationship with something or somebody that doesn't align with your highest path. And so, I think that with the death and the rebirth, it's like letting go of one part of yourself that is no longer you, that you no longer resonate with. You have already evolved past that, and allowing yourself to, I want to say like a phoenix rising from the ashes, come forward with who you are fully. So I think that for this month, whatever situation you are struggling with, use the energetic portal of the Lion's Gate. So on 8/8, the energetic portal is all about like, I think the sun in Leo aligns with the brightest or the largest star in the sky, which is actually Sirius. And that portal opens up a specific amount of time. And I'm not going to lie to you guys and say that I know exactly how long that is, because I think for each person it's different. But it's almost like a time to ride the wave. I keep wanting to say ride the wave. And think about it like this. You know how some days we're in our flow state and we get everything done. We clean the house, we do the laundry, we put everything away, or we go to work and we have one of those great days where we're just in the moment. We don't even care what time it is. That's the energy you're going to have. I keep wanting to say for about a week. So maybe from 8/8 to 8/18, I want to say, so a week to 10 days. Um Ride that wave, okay? And with the high priestess, your intuition already knows the way. You just have to listen to it, okay? Trust your intuition. Your intuition will never let you down. Um, Anytime I didn't listen to my intuition, it got louder and louder and louder. It made me super uncomfortable, almost to the point where I'm like, man, I should have just listened from the start. Um, so listen from the start, okay? And ride that wave of energy. It's going to catapult you forward. It's like a catalyst, you know? All right. And so I think the Page of Wands came out and then the Page of Pentacles. So with the Page of Wands, it tells me like you're going to be receiving some sort of a message. It could be a literal message, text message, an email, or a phone call from somebody. And it could be this karmic person that's going to try to come back around again, okay? Or it could be a karmic cycle, like a mindset. Um, you might have an opportunity that you're talking yourself out of and you're kind of scared to do. And it might have to do with work with the Eight of Pentacles. It could be, higher knowledge. For some of you, it might be a school opportunity and you're talking yourself out of it. But don't do that, okay? Don't do that. You're going to be blessed. And so with the Page of Wands and the Page of Pentacles, you're going to have a new opportunity coming in that's going to be like a foundation, a solid foundation that is going to last through the end of the year. Now, or even going forward, right? But at least for this month, you're definitely going to get, I keep wanting to say a message. So you're going to bring something in and it's going to last the rest of the year. But you guys get to decide. That doesn't mean it's a positive message, right? So if it's a karmic trying to come back, if you don't want to struggle or be sad for the rest of the year, choose to ignore them. Okay? Take a new path. And but if it's also like a message from a school or a job or something or an opportunity, then and it feels good to you and you resonate with it and your intuition's telling you to take it, okay? All right, so let's see what our surprise cards are. So we have the Temperance and the Seven of Swords. So with that, I want to say this. Seven of Swords is, the card of like hidden things, sometimes some lying, some deceit, some cheating, all of that, right? But I don't read from like a negative mindset. I try to read from a positive mindset, but that doesn't mean that I won't tell you the card's meaning, right? But what came out in my mind when I saw this card was don't lie to yourself. So I want to say, don't lie to yourself. Don't think, oh, this person's changed, or maybe maybe on the 17th try around it'll be better. No, take a new path, okay? Because with temperance, you need to have some balance in your life. Okay, maybe temperance is also the card of like sober mind, having one foot in and one foot out. So if we have one foot in our old self and one foot in our new self, we're just stuck. We're not going anywhere. We need to decide. But choose the path of light. Choose the path of, I keep wanting to say sobriety. So maybe for some of you, like an old situation might bring in some toxic things. I don't know. So that might not be for everybody, but all right. So, and then with those cards flipping over and them being our surprise cards, right? I'm thinking like you might not know that you're lying to yourself, or the situation coming in If your intuition is telling you like something's off about this, you need to trust it. Don't talk yourself out of it, okay? And then be of sober mind so you can hear your intuition loud and clear. I wanted to say that also. All right, so let's get one more row. Oh. Another purple card. Oh, a bunch of cards fall on the floor. Should we take them, guys? Or should we put them back in? Let's put them back in. Let's see. If they're meant to come out again, they will. Let me shuffle one more time. I know with this reading, it might be a little bit like, oh gosh, but it's all positive. You have your crown chakra activated and you're fulfilling soul contracts and you're remembering who you are and you're releasing like karma. Okay. You know how hard it is to release karma? It takes lifetimes. All right. So I think I have more than enough cards. Let's see. All right. This one fell on the floor. So put that over here. Okay. So off the top. So we have the Ace of Wands. So Wands represents fire. Wands represents your guys' energy, okay? The fire energy. And you know what's best for you. And I'm also thinking crown chakra right now. That's the area of the third eye. Listen to yourself. And the Queen of Swords is one of the last cards that came out, but I'm going to pull it because right now I'm thinking for some of you, you're in a lot of reflection right now and you're thinking about what's my next move? Or I even want to say some anxiety. You're having anxiety about an old cycle repeating. But this Queen of Swords is in her power. She's reflecting. She doesn't look stressed, right? She's looking out. And I keep wanting to say listening to her intuition. And if you're feeling anxiety, take a breath, okay? Take some deep breaths. And with the Hanged Man, that's all about just letting spirit guide the way. And I felt the need to take a deep breath right now. Like I had a lot of anxiety in my chest and it actually like went up to my throat. And I'm fine. Everything's good right now. So some of you guys, I feel like you're like holding your breath right now. So if you're holding your breath, let it out, okay? Let it out. Everything's going to be okay. You're okay. And with the Hanged Man, spirit's talking to you. Just listen, okay? And then we have the Star card, which is a wish fulfillment. So for this month, I know that maybe like for this next week, I keep wanting to say this week, some things might be turning, right? Some cycles might be trying to reappear. But by the end of the month, you're going to have your wish fulfillment. And I feel like spirit's like kind of like pouring into you, blessing you, okay? All right. And then we had the Four of Pentacles, and that could be wanting to hang on to something that we might not want to let go of. I'm not like immune to things, okay? Like I said, I'm able to tap into the river of knowledge for you guys. But when it comes to me, I know what it feels like to just want to hold on to what I have. It might not even be good for me anymore. It might drain my energy, but it's like at least I know what to expect. And that's kind of sad to actually say out loud. I said that in my head a lot, but now that I hear myself saying it out loud, it's like I want to hold on to something. But why? You know, we don't need to hold on to things that bring us down or take our energy. I don't know why too. And like, I want to say, take our money, take our energy, and energy is a currency. So like, it's all about giving and receiving. If we're not receiving in return, it's like, we're not being selfish, but we have our needs that need to be met too. So we can't just give away everything and then not get anything in return. Then it would be a lack of balance. All right. So 3 cards that came out are the Four of Swords. So I really feel like too with this card, it's like somebody's holding their heart on their sleeve, or maybe they feel like their heart's outside of their chest. But she's sleeping. She's resting peacefully. She actually kind of looks like she's okay. She's in a nest. And hold on one second, guys. I'm getting a lot of fear, and maybe somebody's sleeping a lot. Have you been sleeping a lot lately? But there's no need to fear because guess what? You have the King of Cups and the Nine of Cups. So you know what that tells me? And there's your treasure chest. You're going to be so happy and fulfilled. Your cup is going to be over overflowing. And with the Nine of Cups, so like nines are like we're ending a cycle, tens are completion. So we haven't completed it yet, but if we choose the opportunity that and the path that takes us forward to our future and not back to our past, the Ten of Cups will appear. And that's all about like happiness, family, like we're emotionally fulfilled in every aspect of our life. But guess what? Right now you already have nine. So that's not doing too bad. There's you're just missing one cup. And for some of us, I want to say right now, like maybe we're not even ready for that last cup yet. You know, maybe we're happy with our nine cups right now, and that's okay too. And then with the King of Cups, that's you are growing into like I feel like you're tuning to your higher self. And our higher self's always talking to us. And the King of Cups is all about being able to control your emotions, being able to be at peace, be in this area of life where it's like, you know what, that did hurt me in the past, but I've learned from that and I'm moving forward. And then with the Five of Wands, it can be eternal conflict. But what I'm seeing right now is like somebody actually reaching for the flame. And you know, Five of Wands is all about like conflict and internal conflict. But what I'm actually seeing right now, and I'm going to be honest, I have never seen this card this way, but right now it's coming in so strong, is people working together to get out of a situation and reach for the sun. And I want to say like reaching for their higher self. So you might be like going to the gym. I keep wanting to see like a group of people working out or working towards a goal. So maybe going to the gym is going to be something that's going to help you guys, or working on a team of something, or maybe just sharing with your community, your close friends, or people in your life that you love and you trust, and they're going to help you find the way out, okay? So I truly feel like the tarot basically shows where you're at right now, okay? But with the overall energy being the soul star activation, the sword of light, and the chamber of the violet flame, that's your higher self connecting to your crown chakra, letting you know what you need to do next, okay? And okay, so let's see. I'm being called to pull from the Hidden Truth Oracle. Now for okay, let me start over. So for some of you, this reading is all about letting go of a mindset and allowing yourself to take a new path and a new journey. But you know what? I'm being told this is not it. So we're not doing that. And for some of you, it is going to be relationships. Okay. But those are usually like the main themes of our lives, right? Those are usually what we come to readings asking about. So it might be answering questions for multiple people, okay? All right, so we're going to pull from the Moonology Oracle deck because I don't think the Hidden Truth had any messages for you. Oops. I need to get a larger space so I can shuffle these cards without messing up my cards already. Let me see. All right, one more, please. All right. Okay, Spirit. What does Leo need to know? All right, 2 cards right off the bat. Okay, so we have hold your vision, a fixed moon, and a win-win outcome is in the forecast, a full moon in Libra. And that tells me right now, just like with the temperance, hold your vision, hold your power, okay? And you're going to have a good outcome. And also purple. So I wanted to just say, Leo, your guys' energy is so great. And I'm actually a Leo moon. And so I have some Leo energy, and the way we see ourselves, um, the way we know what we deserve, but sometimes we accept less than we deserve. But your path is blessed. Your path is not an easy path, I keep wanting to say, but it is a path that only a few chosen are allowed to take. And I keep wanting to say you're going to go down this golden path that not everyone has access to, and you do. So follow your inner guidance, okay? And I am going to read the win-win outcome, the full moon in Libra, because that's what I'm being called to do right now. Let's see. Full moon in Libra. Okay. All right. A win-win outcome is forecast. Full moon in Libra. The full moon in Libra, the sign of partnership, of falling in love, and of closely relating to someone else. Since full moons are about climaxes and conclusions, this card suggests you're either about to start a new relationship or that an important existing relationship is changing somehow. Perhaps coming to an end or moving to a new level of commitment. It is important to remember that people come to us for a reason, and sometimes just for a season. If a relationship is ending now, it's doing so at the right time, so try not to fight it. This card can also refer to a professional relationship. There's a sense that you need to balance your ego with someone else's needs. A win win outcome is possible with give and take. Doing so might be the answer to your question. So attune to the moon. Let go of that which is falling away. I love the synchronicity. That completely aligns with everything I've been saying. Additional meanings for this card. See the other person through the eyes of love and it will change your perspective. It's time for you to make a firm decision. Time for you to focus on yourself for a while. Look after yourself, but avoid vanity. Now is a great time for a makeover. So put some self-care in, go to the gym, enjoy life, but my Leos are confident, so let that confidence shine, okay? And the teaching is no matter when you pull the full moon in Libra, it encourages you to find a balance between your desires and those of the people around you. Balance is a very Libran energy, and the full moon brings things to a peak. Dramas and upsets bring partnerships to the fore. Libra energy also brings love energy, and negotiations are easier. So, if you're meeting somebody new, remember that whatever relationship or whatever connections you start in your Leo season, they're going to continue until at least the end of the year, okay? So with that being said, be mindful. Um, be mindful, okay? And then relationships do also have to be a balance, give and take, give and take, give and receive. Can't just be one or the other because then we're out of balance and then somebody's going to be resentful, okay? So I want you to hold your vision, really do some meditations, and tap into your crown chakra. Look into the crown chakra as well, okay? And remember who you are. And also, I want to say this very strongly. Sometimes we meet people and we're like, you feel really familiar to me, and you've never met them before. They're a part of your soul plan or soul contract. I call them like light posts. Like we go through light, we run into light posts throughout our lives, and they're here to teach us a lesson, or they're here to come into our life and stay in our life forever in some type of a way, or they're also here to activate us. Sometimes certain people will activate us. All right. So we have one quote to meditate on and one affirmation, and I love it when it comes out that way. So, the quote that I want you to meditate on this week is just as rust eats away the iron from which it is produced, so do their own deeds lead the overindulgent into a miserable state. Interesting. And I wanted to say energy. I was going to say interesting and energy at the same time. So, we need to be mindful of our energy, the energy we give and the energy we receive, and we don't want to overindulge, okay? And for some of you, I want to say you're watching a lot of readings right now, maybe. So choose the ones that you really resonate with and then leave the rest, because sometimes our mind can be overloaded with different messages, okay? And then the final card is affirmation. It is, I am always learning. And we are. We're always learning. All right, my beautiful Leos. I hope you guys have a wonderful birthday month. Happy birthday again. If you guys liked my reading or you resonated with it, please give me a comment and just let me know. Because I'm very nosy and sometimes I read these energies and they're so strong, but then I never know like the outcome. So please let me know. And I hope you guys have a beautiful month and I'll see you next time. Bye.